Mother, man.
Hi guys and girls, this is Pepper from Hatesphere and you're listening to Murder Metal Mayhem.
Spreading faster than a case of the clap in a trailer court. Able to shatter eardrums within a 666-mile radius. A podcast more brutal than all the rest. It's Murder Metal Mayhem!
All right, what the hell is up?
What the fuck's up, motherfuckers?
It is Tuesday, and we're throwing down a brand new Murder Metal Mayhem, and we're in Horns High Studios for the Horns High Podcast Network. Episode 216, Chris. Holy shit.
Oh, man, I thought it was fucking episode 419. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I got Chris here in Horns High, and speaking of 419, we got Mr. 419, Joey C. over there in Toledo.
What up, Joey?
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, yeah. Not bad. Fucking chilling.
Very cool, very cool. And what about the T-shirts, Chris? What do you got sporting over there? Is that some Murder Machine Clothing hoodie?
Yeah, I mean, always. I got the Cannibal Corpse hat from
Nice.
FTA.
Yeah.
I got the fucking Murder Machine hoodie, but I got the Whiskey Helps.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Whiskey
helps. Yeah, that was Joey gave you that.
Fuck yeah, he did.
Oh, yeah. Very good. And speaking of Joey, what do you got going on over there, dude?
I got the Chicago Domination Fest 5 hoodie on.
That's badass, dude.
I've been ready to fucking just rock T-shirts and get ready for better weather.
Me
but
too, brother.
It was a little chilly today.
It is a little
like,
chilly.
yeah. But fucking Miguel's been announcing the lineup for the new Chicago Domination Fest, and I bought my tickets for that, so I'm excited.
Very cool.
That'll be the next time I go back to Illinois, so July.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very cool. And I know that, Chris, you were surprised when you saw me step
Your
out of my
fucking
house.
shirt, Pete. I died laughing, bro.
That's the best.
That's the best.
Pop-Tart Power.
Pop-Tart power. Yeah, if y'all listeners, if you're new, you'll understand. But if you've been a listener for a while, you understand.
Yeah, for sure.
That Pop-Tart power shit
We always
is the
eat
shit.
Pop-Tarts in the metal segment, and Chris and I were joking around last week between segments, off camera, so to speak, and said something about, man, we ought to get some T-shirts about the Pop-Tarts, you know. So I'm on Amazon and I found one and I ordered it, and it's been here for a few days. I'm like dying to fucking wear
waiting
this
for
thing.
Tuesday. Just waiting for Tuesday.
And I knew it. I was like, I don't give a fuck how cold it is, because it's a little chilly here today too. I'm like, I don't give a fuck how cold it is. I'm coming out just with that fucking Pop-Tart fucking
and
T-shirt
I fucking
on.
lost it.
Because I knew, I was like, hey, he's going to lose it. So it's pretty cool. So fuck yeah, Pop-Tart
fucking
power.
classic.
All right, very good. Well, last week, guys, we did a good one on a gruesome subject, the Saskatoon freezing deaths.
Corrupt cops.
Very much so.
Racist cops.
Little Starlight Tours is what they were known by, and just awful. These Saskatoon police officers, not all of them, but, you know, some rogue fucking cops taking people that were drunk.
Indigenous
guys that were drunk, driving them out in the middle of fucking nowhere, and this is in like sub-zero fucking weather. So shit where you could freeze to death in minutes. And they would drop them off and kick them out of the fucking car, and in essence telling them to walk it off and walk home. But when they know goddamn well, you know,
yeah, you ain't coming back.
Yeah, and half the time they were thrown out without, one guy had one shoe missing and
got beat his ass beat at the same time.
Yeah, and got beat up. So yeah, it was really bad. So we had Shane Borchuk, our Canadian friend and listener and co-host.
Fuck yeah.
He was on there with us, and so that was awesome. And I did the metal feature on that Chilean death metal band Sculpture. And we're going to talk about Chile here in a little bit, but fuck yeah.
I like Chile,
some
dude.
Chilean metal fans down there loving on some Murder Metal Mayhem. And we did a new Killer Cage match. We all three had some mayhem stories, so that was fun.
Always a good time.
And the usual silliness. We were passing 900 to that one today. So thank you, those of you that have already listened. And if you missed it, go on and check that out. And I posted the video of just the murder segment with Shane from that episode on the YouTube channel. So more reason to go to that fucking YouTube channel and subscribe to that shit.
Yeah, you can look at our ugly faces too.
You could see it. Yeah, and you see Shane's got the cool Murder Metal Mayhem background and shit going on.
Tight.
So it's cool to check it out. I think if you've never seen us, you may find it interesting to see, put names to the faces type of thing, All right. We also put out a bonus episode on Friday for you. That was the full 29-minute interview that I did with Sculpture. And we were at like 560 listens to that when I looked at that today. So, fuck yeah. So thank you very much. And if you missed
I'm
it,
sure Sculpture likes it too.
Yeah, go on and give that a listen. Yeah,
out.
I need to touch base with them and let them know how well it's doing. Because that's really great, Now, tonight we're doing a feature on a awful fucking subject, as we usually talk about awful things.
Fairly recent.
Very recent one, yes.
It's still going on.
Right. The Pike County Massacre. And this is Ohio, southern Ohio, not
the 419.
All right, no 419 here.
No, I live on the opposite end of the state.
Right.
And it's funny because while I'm fucking watching some shit about this case, Stephanie's like, they sound so fucking country. Way different than they do up here.
Oh, yeah. This is like the Appalachian Mountains going on down there. So this is definitely, a story of some very, very, poor, difficult situations going on down there. People struggling.
Just straight, not the good kind of white trash shit.
Right, exactly. But these people were, 8 people of one family in 2016 murdered, shot, execution style in their homes.
In multiple places.
Yeah, 4 different locations, which is nuts. And the murders were committed by another family that wanted to literally annihilate them over a very nasty custody battle of child custody. 3 of the family members have had their cases resolved, but there is still one yet to happen. But that won't be until 2024 from what I read. And, we'll dig into the details of this. I didn't want to wait. I really wanted to talk about this topic. And I know that, we usually try to get these things resolved, but this one may drag out a while. So right. I think we can all handle it.
Ain't nothing doing something that's still not completely unsolved.
That's true. That's true. Now, Chris, you got the horns tonight, and what are you going to be talking about?
Dude, I totally forgot.
You totally forgot, huh?
Yeah. Am I doing the metal segment tonight?
You are, yeah.
Holy fuck. No.
Good. I knew you were bullshit.
I got the County Medixal Examiners tonight, so it's going to be nice.
Hell yeah, very cool. And I got a good Lost Classic for us tonight.
Hell yeah.
And some other metal news, and talk about all that in the metal segment. We're also throwing down a brand new Killer Cage match, and that's where we take that list of 75 killers, 75 objects for them to fight with, and 2 of them fucking pair off in the cage, and we're going to say thank you to a few listeners.
Yeah, we
Chris.
are. First of all, we have Jim Gay.
Yep, went to high school with Jim Gay.
Yeah.
Fucking cool guy.
Hell yeah, fucking
yeah. Races stock cars.
Does he for real?
Yeah.
Like fucking like dirt track or?
I think so. I know he's been doing it forever, and I always see him posting shit off
dirt track.
No, Jim's a cool dude.
Fucking right. We also have Colin Rogers.
Hell yeah.
And we have this motherfucker.
There he is.
Ray McDaddy McFalls.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Ray.
Thanks,
very cool. Very cool. And we got a good one tonight in the cage, Joey. We got a familiar face in this one.
Yeah, 44 caliber killer, David Berkowitz. And he's going to be going up against Timothy McVeigh, who will bomb the fuck out of you.
Right? For sure.
Fucking kill.
Yeah, I was just watching some
Everyone.
stuff on Waco, and of course McVeigh comes up in that conversation. So
All
yeah,
the
it's just-
time, yeah.
It's NYC versus OKC.
there you go. There you go.
Nice.
And they'll have 2 objects to fight with, a variable and a song. I didn't forget it this week. That's going to go down when the fight's happening. So we'll do that in the Mayhem segment. So you got to keep listening. And then, guys, we got that sponsor.
Yes, we do.
Killers the Card Game. Our friend Jeff Ignatowski. He's a friend and just a super cool guy. And he's a listener of the show, and we
game's fun as
appreciate
shit,
that.
man.
The game is amazing. I mean,
Expansion
we've all played
packs
it.
and all that. Like, dude,
Yeah.
playing it like
A serial killer role-playing game with cards. It's
pretty
a
badass.
must. It's a must, and we're not just saying that because they're sponsoring the episode. Legit,
No,
we've
we-
seen us talk about this.
yeah, we have the video on
played it.
YouTube of us playing it, and it's
Yeah,
fucking good.
it's
Us
really fun.
learning it now that we learned. Like,
Yeah, it's really
fucking
fun.
really good.
So I mean, you got to check it out. I'll link to it in the episode description. But it's one of those games that's going to put your game night on its fucking ear because it's really, really cool. Joey, you played it in the 419.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I got my copy, and then our listener Peggy Sue, she got a copy too.
That's right. That's right. What did you think, Joey, about the killers that he picked in that basic pack that comes with the game?
I was very impressed with it because that's, of course, one of the first things I did after I opened up the package way before I played the game, like months
Is look to
before.
see
Right,
who-
look through the
yeah.
cards.
Yeah, I want to see the cards. You know, they're
Right.
badass.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I know you said it before, but probably one of the most surprising was like Howard Unner. I was like,
Yeah.
oh hell yeah, you know.
Yeah, some really good ones. Some good mobsters. I liked some of the
Yeah.
mobsters I wasn't aware of, you know.
Right?
And there were 2 or 3 of the killers in there that I didn't know, so that was
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So it was nice learning new ones.
Yeah, and like Chris was saying, he's got those expansion packs too, so you can get other stuff. He's got a cult leader one, and
That's
I definitely
fucking
want to get
crazy.
that one. So yeah, so check it out. Like I said, Killers the Card Game. We'll link to that in the episode description. Big thanks to everybody listening to us. We keep spreading that word and tearing it the fuck up
Thank you,
for you
guys.
every week. And this week we're at 2,910 total listens, so very cool.
yeah.
Thank you. And I was completely floored. Santiago, Chile this morning surpassed Chicago
Holy shit.
for the #1 city listening to us. So thank you to you Chilean listeners.
That is
fucking A, because Chicago's been #1 for an awfully long time.
Chicago's basically home fucking
2 hours north of us,
Yeah.
2.5 hours north
as
of
a
us.
city. Yeah, it's like Illinois fucking
Yeah.
Holy
So anyway, thank you. That's really cool. So keep spreading the word, and make sure you guys check out our website, murdermetalmayhem.com, for our web store and some bios and the CK tribute and all that. So check that out. Well, guys, we got a lot on our plate tonight. We're going to be taking a trip east to the state of Ohio, down south near the Appalachians, and hopefully try to avoid getting caught up in a fucking massacre.
Dude, yeah, let's go make sure I get custody of my daughter real quick.
Fucking A, man. I am really digging on that band Chronicle from Denmark. My God, those guys are badass. They got a new album coming out in May. And May 19th, this thing is called Where Chaos Thrives. I got an advance copy because they want me to do a review. It is fucking unbelievable. But there's stuff that they have already out. Their last album called Demonology, that's out there on streaming, on YouTube, wherever. There's one before that too, but check that shit out. These guys are really good. I'm just completely blown away. The musicianship is unreal.
I know where chaos thrives.
Yeah.
In Horns High Studios.
That's right. That's right. So these guys are a great death thrash band. Definitely be interested to talk to them because I'm going to be doing an interview with them in April. So that'll be cool.
Fucking right.
All right. Well, we are talking tonight, guys, as we said, the Pike County murders or Pike County Massacre.
Oh, it was a massacre.
Yeah. Pike County is a very rural area, as we said, in southern Ohio at the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. So April of 2016, 8 members of the Roden family were executed with a bullet to the head, and we're talking adults and some teenagers too. There were 4 different homes that this happened in.
And the same night.
Right. At the same time by one family. And this is like a modern Hatfield McCoy fucking situation.
I get it.
Very fucked up.
I get it. Way they say Hatfields and McCoys because it's 2 families.
Right.
But it wasn't like a lifelong rivalry.
No,
like the
they were
Hatfields
like
and
best
McCoys.
friends.
Yeah.
That's what's so fucked up about this. But in this case, they were having a really bad custody battle with the mother, who was with one family, and the son, the father, was with the other. And that's what set this whole thing off. There's some other family members involved. We're talking 3 generations of this shit going down. It is a crazy story. It's an awful fucking story, but you know, we do it our way. So no offense
I did
meant,
it
okay?
my
It's
way.
a totally different story, of course, but I can't, as I was researching this, I couldn't help but think about like the Vera Joe Regal shit with as far as somebody would go to try to get custody.
That's
of
true,
a
child.
man.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
true. Yeah, that's a good analogy in that respect for sure. Now, as I mentioned earlier, 3 of the family members who did the murdering have had their day in courts. They are convicted murderers, 3 of the 4. There is 1 case yet to be tried. As I said, it's been bumped to 2024.
And this happened 2016.
2016. So I'll mention that again later, but I don't want to be saying allegedly through the whole fucking thing. But the father, Billy is what he went by. His name was George, but he went by Billy. But there's another George, so don't get confused. Just remember Billy. He's the one that has not been found guilty yet. His trial is bumped to next year. But the other 2 took a plea deal and agreed to testify against Billy, and they testified against the
Like
older
the family, yeah.
the older brother George. So this is a very messy, somewhat confusing. So hang on tight. So it's likely that Billy will be found guilty, just the fact that all the others have, but the trial is yet to happen. Now, Chris, this is a case, getting a lot of media attention in that part of the country, but I had not heard about this until I stumbled on it on YouTube. What about you?
I remember hearing about it when it happened in 2016. Like, it was like a huge...
Okay.
I do remember seeing media coverage about it.
Okay.
Because at the time, I was like hanging with some dudes that just watch the news constantly.
Okay.
But like...
Yeah, I just don't remember it, and I'm
But I never-
surprised because I'm usually pretty tuned into with the news and stuff, or at least I was then, not now. But
Right. But yeah, I had heard about it. I remember hearing about it when it happened, but I never really like dug into it very far.
right. What about Joey? With the you're obviously there in the 419, and the governor of Ohio, Mike DeWine, he was involved in prosecuting this one at the time, though he was the attorney general, right?
Yeah, and he was directly involved with this case,
Yeah.
Pike County murders, and then I'm not Ohio enough because I haven't lived here.
Right, I was going to say,
Oh, I
he,
know.
he
I
can't
know.
be the Ohio fucking mess.
But I can't help but think that this case right here didn't help boost his political outlook into becoming governor. I don't know if this was a case that put him in the spotlight in Ohio's eyes,
Right.
or if it was other stuff, because I
Right.
just don't know the history of the politics enough. But watching this and watching him, during the interviews and him doing the whatever things that he was doing for the news and shit whenever he was talking about this case,
Right.
it definitely seemed it seemed like he was somebody that people could look forward to for answers and things like that at a time they really wanted some in this case. So
yeah,
he did a really good job, being the attorney general through this case. Kept everybody informed. I think made the right moves. It took a while to bring some of the justice, but I think that's just the way it had to be in this case, because as we're going to talk about, I mean, these are some redneck motherfuckers, but this was some pretty fucking planned out.
Oh, yeah.
It
very
was
much
planned
so.
out, dude.
Did you guys see how short he was, though, Mike DeWine?
Yeah.
That sheriff was talking at the podium, and then he stepped away, and Mike DeWine got up there, was like literally barely able to see his head above the podium. It was kind of funny.
That.
Yeah.
I think
but
he's
he's
as
feisty
tall
as fuck. I mean, he was fucking jacked, and you could tell. I mean, he was fucking into that shit. So I'm not knocking him. I just thought it was funny because I'm like, holy shit, that guy's small.
I think he's about as tall as your guy's governor is wide.
You might be right. You might be right.
Very might
Jesse's
be correct.
got some girth there, that's for sure. So, I mean, Joey, people are, nowadays almost desensitized to this shit. Don't you guys think that's kind of, there's so much of these shootings, and it's like, there's just the shit in Memphis, was it, with the school, another school? It's like, it's so fucked up. I just think people at some point are just kind of desensitized, but this one was just especially gnarly, though.
Well, this is still a big case here, obviously.
Right.
Like
for sure.
When I told people what I was doing for this week at the podcast, at work and shit, they're like, "Oh yeah, Pike County," and so everybody knows about that one. A lot of people following it and shit.
Oh yeah.
The one thing that kind of fucked this case up, it didn't fuck this case up. That's not what I'm trying to say, but it was, like Chris said, when it happened, it was real big. It was all over the news. There was a lot of media coverage. But then COVID happened during the trial process.
Exactly.
Right.
And it kind of kills it.
Right.
And a lot of people actually, it almost seemed like people forgot or just didn't care about the case anymore.
All they cared about was COVID.
Yeah, nobody else is getting hurt or nothing like that. You
right.
know? So anyway, we'll talk more about it. But no, this case is it's pretty interesting from the Ohio standpoint. People definitely know this one.
Oh, for sure. I think
this is.
Go ahead, Joey.
Oh, I was just going to say that this is, this is one of the most extensive cases ever in Ohio history, and we're talking about Ohio. There's a lot of fucked up shit that's happened here. And this is, bigger than the Cleveland Strangler, bigger than Castro.
Castro, wow, yeah, that was a big one. Yeah, for sure.
No, so there's just so much that went into this fucking case. So many witnesses, so many hours of testimony, and it's crazy because where this happened is such a tiny, tiny fucking place.
Right. It's amazing they could even seat a jury, they were saying, so.
Yeah.
But I think the true crime junkies that are really into the courtroom stuff could have definitely heard about this even outside of your area. That Law and Crime channel, I really love that on YouTube for this kind of stuff. The current
good.
Events, really good. They were all over the Murdaugh trial, which is how I found out about it. That Lori Vallow case, which I've been watching stuff on. Of course, this one, and so there's some good stuff on there. So anybody into that is definitely going to know about this one.
All right, you gotta pick one of the two. Which one you fucking? Casey Anthony, Lori Vallow.
I have no desire to talk about that, to be honest with you. So this happened on the night of April 21st, April 21st, 2016, into the early morning of April 22nd. So, into the early hours. This is happening on the outskirts of a town, Peebles, Ohio. So a very small area, it's a small town. The bodies are discovered by a relative of one of the victims who had come to the home to feed the pets and found this fucking awful scene. I can't even imagine it. I mean, that's fucked up.
Is brother-in-law and sister,
yeah, something like that.
Like comes in like, oh shit! And did you hear the 911 calls?
Very.
Like at first she's like, oh, they got beat the fuck up. Not those words,
Right.
but she thought they just got beat to death.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, holy shit, those 911 calls are fucked up.
Yeah, that's for sure. Especially that one. It is kind of chilling to hear, but they gave an address on Union Hill Road. So that's where 3 of these sites were all in a row. And Chris, they go to a second mobile home on the same property. And what was the deal with that one?
Well, they had went like, man, I'm terrible with names. Names don't stick in my head good. But the relative that found the 2 at the one place went to the other place and told them, hey, look, what's
Right.
up? And then found them dead as well.
Right.
Like, that's not a good night for you or your family.
No, not at all. And they're not
so,
done
like,
yet.
And they ain't done yet.
Right.
There's like 2 dead in this, 2 dead in this. I can't even imagine what would happen to my brain if I fucking walked in and found my
I
whole
can't even
family
imagine
fucking
it
dead
either,
like
dude.
that.
That's fucking crazy. So yeah, they
And
go
then
to a
they-
third trailer.
Yeah, they go to the third trailer, and they're dead too.
Yeah. So we've got
You got
fucking
my whole
bodies all over the
family.
place.
My whole family's fucking gone,
Right.
and 911, or not just 911. The cops is like, well, I think it's the drug cartels.
Right. That was what they were thinking. And then Joey, what about that last victim, dude?
Yeah, they found him. He was actually in Piketon, which was actually
A few miles
away.
Right.
Yeah. He was in another camper, but this was, I believe, was it Senior's brother? I can't remember.
Yes.
The-
Chris
I think
Senior's
that's
brother.
right there.
Yes.
Yeah,
We're going to
yeah.
run through like how this all played out with the victims and get
There
all
is
into
a
that.
lot of fucking names in this.
I know, and I tried
It's
to
so
make this as simple
ridiculous.
as possible because you got some 2 different Chris's, 2 different George. So
Yeah.
hang tight, okay? So
I'm not one of the Chris's.
that's correct. Yeah, we've got enough Chris's on our hands here. So we're not sure exactly the order, but what they think is you have Chris Roden Sr. and his cousin Gary Roden. They're in that first mobile home, okay? And they're both shot in the head. Charles or Chris was shot in the on the porch, and then they dragged the bodies into the bedroom, and that's where they found
put
them
like
in the bedroom.
comforters or whatever on them.
Yeah. And then in another mobile home, you have Dana Roden, so a female. She's the ex-wife of Gary Roden that was in that other trailer, dead. She's dead, same thing, and she's got 2 kids living with her.
And they're alive.
No, her children, Hannah Mae and Chris Roden Jr.
Oh, I was thinking, never mind, I'll stop.
They were both dead. So you got the mother and her 2 teenage. Hannah was I think 18 or Hannah was 19. Chris Jr. was 16. So they were teenagers, I guess you would say. And so they're both dead. But it's amazing that that there was Hannah's 4-day-old baby left unharmed. So that was like something you don't normally see. They left the baby.
Don't kill the kids.
No. And so again, all these victims are all shot in the
Because
head.
they can't be witnesses because they're that young.
Exactly.
But it's also a fucking. I know that hindsight's 20/20, but it's like an obvious fucking clue to a motive that we'll get to in this case.
Oh yeah, definitely. You're exactly
Like
right.
you left that baby alive.
Right,
Why?
right. And the third mobile home was the body of Frankie, who was the oldest child of Dana and Chris Sr. So she had the 2 kids with her that were killed. Frankie, the third child, he's living by himself in the third mobile home.
Sounds
He's also shot
so much
dead.
incest.
And his fiancee, Hannah Gilley, also shot dead. They had a 6-month-old baby between them, also left unharmed, but covered in fucking blood.
Yeah, like covering
Brutal.
their fucking parents.
Brutal.
Just,
I mean, Chris, this is some of the most fucking heinous shit. I mean, this is just crazy, dude.
I think Like they fucking, obviously we're gonna talk about it because they plan this shit, fucking. But the fact that they just like don't give a shit about like how they left the kids. Like, oh, you're just laying between your parents' corpses,
Right.
just draining blood all over you. They didn't give a fuck about the feelings of anyone other than what they wanted to do.
Right.
So I don't know. It's kind of fucked up.
It is. It's very fucked up. And the only good thing is that they left the fucking
kids.
babies out of
Yeah.
it. You know, that would have been
Dude,
even
if they had
that
killed
much
babies,
worse.
nobody's getting any kind of fucking plea.
No, that's the truth. Now, Joey, since you're the marijuana resident expert here on the podcast, you know, I mean, there was that whole angle here with marijuana. What was the deal with that, dude?
Oh my God.
Well, they ended up finding a fucking a shed on the property, and Chris Sr. and fucking Kenneth Roden were having a marijuana operation growing there, and they were talking about, you know, for a second they contemplated if maybe that was part of the reason that, you know, shit went bad, and
Right.
Cartel hit.
the possibility that they were messing with the cartel, and this was all based off of the fact that there were 2 other busts in Pike County around the same time of marijuana dealers who actually did get connected to the Mexican mob,
okay.
which was kind of crazy because it's pretty far north for the cartels to be kind of infiltrating like that. But
yeah, they did say it was like a drug corridor there through that area, which I didn't realize.
Because you're in
that.
the hills, and that's all you're going to do is fucking...
That's true.
And
Speaking of weed,
another
nice
thing-
hat.
Yeah, Chris and Courtney got it.
Right.
But the thing is there too is they said that they don't know if Pike County was the poorest county in Ohio, but it was in the top 3.
Yes.
So
Right.
that's pretty fucking poor. So, you know, obviously you're going to have your fucking hands in some dirt so you can make some money growing the weed and shit.
Right.
But also, the police around there, they don't have the fucking money to have the fucking... The stuff
squad?
they need to watch out for that shit, really, you know.
Right.
They're not flying helicopters over that part of the Appalachians looking for grows and shit.
Right.
This
So
is walking around.
they-
Hey, Bob, you grow weed?
Yeah.
No, officer, I ain't. All right, then.
But they did find the grow on the property.
Like a big
Yeah,
grow.
yeah, a pretty big
Later on, whenever, you know, it comes out that the other families are the ones who did it, they don't really fucking expound on it, really. But I always thought that I always wondered if they were hoping that would be what was perceived as what happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They use the grow. They're like, okay, they're going to end up finding that cool. Then they're going to have their reason why it happened.
Right.
But it doesn't work out that way.
No, it really doesn't. So tips are pouring in. The police are being assisted by state cops. And like we said, the Attorney General, Mike DeWine's all over this shit. And the sheriff, Charles Reeder, he was also involved in these press conferences. And at some point during the investigation, the sheriff would end up getting busted on 18 different corruption charges.
Dude.
Like, dude, seriously, like, what a fucking idiot.
Dude, no, I like heard some shit from like his trial for his corruption charges. He's like, well, I was just taking the money from drug dealers. I didn't think it mattered. Like,
wow.
not verbatim, but basically that.
Oh,
like,
wow.
I didn't think it would matter.
That's messed
Jesus
up.
Christ.
And they did say that none of the charges that he was brought up on had anything to do with the Pike County Massacre.
No,
Right.
exactly.
No relation.
But,
But,
still,
yeah,
the
just like,
fucking
what the
sheriff's
fuck?
getting busted at
the
the
middle
same
of all
time.
this bullshit going on, right? So they're doing their best to figure out, you know, what the hell's going on. But you got people just tore up over this. A whole family's fucking annihilated. 8 murders in a town of that size. I mean, that's just fucking staggering. And that's just, you know, a group of people that just have never had to deal with something like this. So a year goes by, the tips stop coming in, the leads kind of dry up. Now the matriarch of the Roden family makes a plea on TV, sad as hell to watch. She begs someone to say something to help solve the murders, and it works. A tip came in to search a nearby farm that a family, the Wagners, used to live, They had just moved to Alaska right after the murders happened.
Now, let me tell you something. If there's this fucking family genocide, would you call it a genocide? Famicide? I would call it famicide. It ain't even that because you're not killing your own family. Just we'll go with massacre.
Massacre.
This fucking family just got fucking massacred. And now all of a sudden, you're selling your property and moving to fucking Alaska.
Right.
Like, we're out.
Exactly.
But now they find out, oh, wait, your kid, Jake, what was it? It was Jake, right?
Jake, right?
That's the father of one of the murdered Hannah's fucking daughter.
Right.
And now you're just bouncing. You got full custody of your kid now?
But you can use that as an excuse for them, too, because they were like, look, we
want to get her away from here.
We want to get
the kid away from this. Fucking don't want that
we were
stigma.
talking about this when we did Robert Lee Yates, where he just up and leaves. He quits the army with 18 months to go to retirement, and he just leaves. And we were all saying, like, wouldn't that bring more attention to you that you up and left? So same thing with these idiots. They up and moved to Alaska.
Because at the moment, they thought that they were talking about cartels.
Right. And that was their excuse of, hey,
I
Jake
just don't want
saying,
my kid around this ship.
Yeah, we want to leave the area. So,
let's get the furthest away we can possibly get and still be a U.S. citizen.
Exactly. So, that's, at first, on the surface, that seems legitimate reason, but pieces start kind of falling together here. So another thing that the boys did before the murders was they dyed their hair black, and they thought it was to throw off, their appearance. And their dad's all fucking pissed because he's saying, that's going to draw more attention to us. And he said, the best way to hide is in plain sight. So that was what Billy said. Now, Jake is awarded custody of the 2-year-old daughter. How does that happen, man?
I mean, he was the legal guardian. He was the father. Right. So at that time, there was no charges brought against anybody. It was still a open cold case, and so there was no legal reason for him not to have custody of his daughter.
Right.
So he did end up with her. Of course, they do end up coming back at him with an indictment, so he didn't have her forever. But
I
don't know.
Wasn't it his mom or his grandma or some shit that was a notary?
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
All right,
the grandmas get in on this shit too. Yeah, we keep going with that.
That's some bogus shit.
That is some bogus shit. So he takes the daughter with them to Alaska, and that's what he's claiming. Start fresh, out of the area. Okay. So the plot starts to thicken here because the murder charges come down all of a sudden for Billy Wagner. And again, his name is George, but he goes by Billy, and I'm glad because it makes this less confusing. His wife is Angela, and then their 2 sons, Jake and George. George is the older of the 2.
Was he from the jungle?
I'm not sure if he was or not. He's from the Appalachians. So they had since moved back to the area from Alaska. Billy is in Lexington, Kentucky, not too far away. They arrest him, and he had one hell of a fucking mohawk going on.
It's redneck shit.
Yeah, definitely some redneck shit.
A mullet hawk.
Hair's all kind of wild and everything in those pictures. And then the rest of them, get
it's called the
busted
squirrel cut.
The squirrel cut.
There you go. Nice.
I didn't know nothing about that. Stephanie told me that.
That's funny.
She was like, that's where they keep their bangs and a little bit in the back and shit. I was like, that's fucked up.
That's funny. Squirrel cut. And so they're all getting taken down, arrested. The Attorney General spells it out in a press conference and said the custody of the little girl that Jake and Hannah had together was the issue that led to the massacre. 2 years go by, prosecution's putting their case together. As you said, Chris, you had COVID going on, so, that's slowing down the courts as well. Jake, the youngest son, comes forward to plead guilty of the murders and agrees to testify against his older brother, George, the father, Billy, and as long as the state agreed not to go for the death penalty for any of them.
Except him.
He said that
except
he found
him.
fucking
like he was still
Christ
up for death penalty. Nobody else was.
No, I thought that was the deal was for none of them.
I don't know. Maybe I heard wrong, but I fucking multiple.
I'm pretty
things.
sure it was for none of them, but
I mean, none of them got it. So.
right, exactly. Yeah, none of them did get it.
But they said that he turned all fucking religious while he was locked up.
Yeah.
Don't they all?
So,
Don't they all?
Yep. And so then he started fucking having all those fucking thoughts and shit, and then he started getting weighed down by his guilt about the whole situation. So
right.
This is during the COVID silence, like they were talking about.
Right.
That's when he decides to crack under pressure.
Right.
Because he can't handle what's going on in his own head. They're not even the detectives and shit aren't even really coming at them that hard by that point.
Right.
And he couldn't wait it out and handle it, and he fucking had to tell on the whole situation.
It's like, look, I gotta talk, man. I gotta talk.
Yeah, so even though the state agreed to that, it's still not 100% because the way they worded it, that the basically the testimony he gives has to give them enough juice basically to convict. So it wasn't 100% that they weren't getting the death penalty, but it all worked out. Like you said, none of them got that. He also required one visit with all 4 family members before they were all sent to different prisons. So that must have been a touching moment there.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
See you the next life.
He also wanted them to record his confession so his family could hear it and know that he was doing it to save them all from the death penalty. So that's what he was claiming. Now, Chris, Jake would get more than 100 years in prison for these charges, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, he didn't get death penalty or whatever, but I mean, I remember hearing like his brother, he's like, because wasn't it George that said I wasn't even there for the stabbings?
He said he wasn't there for any of the killings, or he was there, but he didn't kill anybody.
Yeah, he didn't actually pull the trigger or whatever.
Right. That's what he said, yes.
And I remember the lawyer saying to fucking Jake, like, so your brother is not getting a death penalty, but you're still up for it. How does that make you feel? And he didn't care. He's just like, okay, that's fine. Because he was still up for, even though he was testifying, he was still up for death penalty.
Yeah.
Not his family.
Yeah.
And I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, I agree, man. I don't know how I feel about these plea agreements. It's like I get it because they want to get convictions and, they go with the sure bet. But, man, it just seems like you give these motherfuckers too many,
Hey, look, I'm not going to say what it is, but I was listening to this podcast today, and dude said they were talking. It's a funny ass podcast, but they started off talking about fucking corporal punishment, and dude's like, I'm anti corporal punishment, and it might not be for what people think it is. It's because I'm pro suffering. I was just like, oh that's fucking great.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worse to be in prison for life than to be executed. I'd rather be executed if I was in that situation, but
I know we talk every now and then. We'll joke about like he got 8 life sentences, or and we're like, what the hell even sense does that make? We know it's fucking court legalities, but when I was watching the prosecuting attorney when she was giving her case about this, in court, she said something I thought was pretty classic, because she said, he got 8 consecutive sentences, and they're gonna run together, one right after another.
Right.
And she called that, she said, as we know, this is legal fiction. And I was like, okay, I like how you said that.
That's a good term,
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So, yeah, he ain't going anywhere. But, Joey, I mean, I don't know. It's what do you think about plea agreements and things like that?
I mean, that's what makes the court system go around. Unfortunately, out of all the cases that get tried in court, I think only, I can't remember the exact percent, but I think it's only like 12 or 13% get taken to a trial or anything like that.
Everything gets
Most
thrown
all
to plea
of them are put
agreement.
out. Right, and included in the plea agreements. So this is some people that are getting away with doing less time than they might have if they go to trial.
Right.
I don't know. Some cases maybe it's okay, maybe not. But in another case, though, they got these motherfuckers that are getting the plea agreements and shit, and there's people that they find later on that are actually like innocent of the crime that they pled to, but they were just so afraid that the fucking evidence against them looked so bad that they were going to get
more time than
a life
yeah.
sentence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
exactly. That they're like, oh God, yeah, I'll plead so I don't have to do that.
Wow,
You know?
yeah.
And then it turns out later on that their DNA don't match or something. And
Right.
It's
Yeah,
like
they
holy
fucked
shit.
up,
So.
yeah.
So a plea agreement, it's kind of...
It's a gamble.
It's a tool. Right. It's a tool that's used by the court system.
Right.
They're never going to lose because they're going to be the ones offering it.
Right.
They're going to win something. This is also a reason, too. Plea agreements, you'll see people that get arrested and they'll hit them with 5-6 charges for something that doesn't seem that serious. And the whole reason is because they know when these people go to court that they're going to plea some of those charges down.
Around, right.
So that's why they give them to you, because then you're still getting
the meat
fucked
of
for
what's
the same amount of
happened.
time that you would.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a game.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. And then the mom got the plea deal, and she winds up getting 30 years.
Yeah. Yep.
And then there was that one witness, the ex-wife of George, who said that the mother was very much involved in the business of the family. So I thought that was interesting that, you would expect in an area like that, that the father would have been ruling with an iron hand. But apparently it was mom more than anybody that was ruling with an iron hand. So she was pretty ruthless from what that girl said. George's
how
ex-wife.
how white trash? Oh yeah, his ex-wife, because they tried to do the same thing with trying to fucking get the child
Right.
in their custody and shit. But the mom is so classic in this because she goes to the Walmart
Right.
to go buy these sneakers
Right.
from the Walmart
She
for
thinks
the
she's
for the
slave.
boys.
Yeah.
And she's like, you gotta be because they always wore boots and shit. So
Right.
she bought them these sneakers that were a size bigger than what they wore or whatever,
Right.
so that whenever the tracks got found, that they would be pointing in a different direction.
Right,
So
yeah.
she's a slick ass granny.
She
right
really
there.
was, man. She really was. So yeah. So she winds
They
up getting 30 years.
these motherfuckers. Oh, sorry. These motherfuckers even went as far. They bought another vehicle.
Yes.
that they
Yeah. We're
used
gonna get
for
into
this
all
case.
that.
Yeah, oh
That's
my
fucking
God.
crazy. So Jake and Angela would explain to the cops how this was all done. Lots of planning, as we've been talking about. So apparently,
This is like a year. Like they said that whenever Hannah even first got pregnant or something, that they all sat down at a table and talked about how they were going to get Hannah out of the picture,
right?
and that eventually the talk came to that they're going to have to massacre these people, but
Right.
at first they were just trying to figure out how to get her out of the picture so that they could have the child.
Right.
Also,
right.
also,
This is a dinner table conversation.
also, when
Exactly.
Jake and Hannah first started doing their thing, he was 17 and she was 13.
Yeah.
13,
Yeah.
yeah.
They were supposed to be chaperoned, according to her dad, but
Her dad was like, yeah, you can go out with her, but one of the boys has to be with you.
apparently
to watch
that
out.
didn't work out.
No, that apparently did not work out. 'Cause,
So yeah, she was very, very young. So they're trying to get Jake's trying to get Hannah to sign the rights away to their daughter, as we've been saying. And I think that was the final straw when she said no, because they had some issues with this guy that Hannah was dating after she stopped seeing Jake. and they were thinking that maybe the girl was being abused by him. I don't understand why. I didn't really ever see any legitimate reason why they thought that.
I thought maybe they were just trying to use that as an excuse.
Well, I do too, but I don't know. I really don't know.
Right.
I saw an interview or maybe a testimony of the guy. He seemed, genuinely heartfelt as he explained how terrible this was. I mean, he was.
Did you say what he said too? Because they were like, well, nothing ever happened though, and he was like, yeah, but what are you gonna do? Wait until it does happen?
Right.
Like holy fuck, you're just gonna fucking decide that something bad's gonna happen, so you're gonna fucking just kill this fool off the bat,
right?
Whatever, but
yeah, it's fucked up. So yeah, saying that there was a threat, who knows? I don't know much about, like I said, I never saw anything that backed that up. But the Wagners believed that this abuse was possibly going on. They even disabled the video surveillance that was at these properties as well. So they knew.
Yeah, they took down the cameras and shit.
Yeah, they knew enough about it. There was a camera on the road too that they took.
They knew each other, knew each other.
Right. Yeah, the dads were best friends. That's what was so fucked up. So George, the oldest son, as we said, he claims that he didn't kill anybody. He pleads not guilty because he said, I didn't kill anybody. So he really gets hosed in this whole fucking situation because Jake said that he killed 5 of the 8 and that Billy, the father, killed the rest. That's what Jake says. I don't think he came out and said that George didn't kill anybody, but I don't remember him saying that he killed anyone. So you have to think that maybe George was completely, at least didn't shoot anyone. But as we all know, the fact that you're there,
and everything you did to help facilitate the situation.
Yes, because he gets dragged in another area too on this. But on the surface, with that situation, Jake kills 5 of the 8. Billy allegedly kills the other 3, and you got 8 total victims. So according to that, George didn't kill anybody, but we don't know. So even if that's true, though, as we've been saying, I mean, he's very much involved in this, but that's a lot different than shooting 8 people in the head. But it's still, in the eyes of the law, everybody gets lumped in with it, just like the getaway driver. We've talked about that. So he gets dragged into this no matter what. Now, I did read that if Jake didn't testify against George, they probably would not have had enough evidence on him because none of his DNA was at the scene. There were footprints.
Well, thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
There were footprints, but as we said, they had tried to at least hide that from the cops, that
what the shoes
they had these shoes that they didn't normally wear, and the sizes were off. So it was flimsy against George, but with Jake's confession and testimony, I mean, there was no way he was getting out of this one.
He did it.
Yeah.
He did it. Fucking snitch.
So he should have gone for the plea agreement. George should have, and then he would have, maybe been able to get, I mean, he still probably would have been in prison for a long time, but maybe not the rest of his life. I don't know.
Right.
Because these guys are pretty young. So I just think, I mean, I know they're all pieces of shit if they did this, and it's obviously 3 of them have been convicted, but, this is awful. And
it makes
they
a lot
all
of sense
deserve to be put away for life, I think.
I mean, I feel like they fucking, obviously, they planned it out.
Right.
Because, it was like watching them as their house, like their daily schedules and everything, what they were doing.
Yep.
And they already knew their fucking layouts of the house or where everybody slept. Like I said before, they were friends.
Right.
And fucking, so then, like Cashman said, they fucking, they bought another vehicle just for this fucking thing they're doing. And they fucking they bought a truck. And they put a false bed, so it looked like it was the bed of the truck, but it was a space between.
Right.
The motherfuckers just be hiding under there with their fucking guns.
Yeah.
As soon as they get to the spot, they just roll out and fucking.
Yeah, they had hay.
Like threw hay or straw bales, hay bales on top of it.
So it looked like
and
it
shit.
was full of hay. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, that's some sneaky ass shit.
Right.
Yeah. They didn't say a lot about there was a few things they touched on, but I think that methamphetamine use was a lot bigger factor in this whole situation.
I wouldn't doubt it, honestly.
I know, that's interesting. I never heard that mentioned at all in here, and this sounds like kind of a meth type situation.
This feels meth-induced.
Like, these sound like some straight tweakers.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
On some surveillance shit, some paranoia shit.
Right.
Fucking,
that's a good point.
I don't know.
That's a good point.
A lot going on.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing I forgot to mention about George is he said the only reason he was even there was because he feared that Billy would kill Jake after the murders were done, to cut that tie so he wasn't a witness as well. That's what George is claiming, okay? So they hacked into the Rodin's social media accounts. This was, I think, Angela's doing here.
Oh, yeah.
And she's tracking what they're doing. And she bought the gym shoes, as you mentioned, Chris. They got her on video. They got receipts. I mean, she was dead to rights on that deal. She also bought a cell phone jammer that they used during the murders. It didn't actually work, but they bought one to try to, jam cell phones. And she uses George's credit card for that. So that's how George gets roped into this even more.
The fraud people fucking actually called him and said, is these your transactions? He just, I did that.
Yep, exactly.
You see, they fucking left all their cell phones at their place.
Right.
That way they weren't tracked.
They told everybody, go ahead and answer the text and everything like normal,
right?
So that it'll look like we're there.
Yes.
Whenever they went to seniors, I guess they said something that they said to him was, "Oh, I can't find my phone. Can you call it?" And that's whenever they distracted him and fucking originally fucking assaulted him. They also used his truck. They jumped in senior's vehicle for a while for this, and that's how they went out to. I think whenever they went out to Dana's trailer or something, so that whenever they pulled up late at night like that in his truck,
like
it didn't seem right. So they didn't think it was that suspicious, and they were able to get the
interesting.
But yeah, fucking this shit was so fucking planned
out. It
out.
really was.
Crazy.
I mean, this is just like a evil genius going on here with this situation. So yeah, I mean, this is just they're using gloves, masks. I mean, they were very careful. They left
when
very
they were
little.
Done, yeah, when they were done, like as soon as they did the situation, they took all the clothes that they had on them, destroyed those, put back on the clothes they had before that.
Right.
They took all the fucking weapons and they fucking broke them down, and they were trying to destroy the firing pins and the barrels as much as possible. They couldn't get rid of some of it, and they ended up fucking putting them in cement.
Right.
That they fucking made into anchors.
Throwing them down the well
and they gave
shit.
them to their fucking relatives. That's so fucking crazy.
Yeah, used them as anchors for some duck blind or something like that.
Yeah, and then the cops ended up getting those later on.
Yeah.
But holy fuck, that's crazy.
Really fucking clever, man. I mean, really fucked up. So all they really got at the crime scene was a couple of footprints from shoes that weren't theirs, and shell casings that matched with casings found on the Wagner property. So that was about it. But that's still pretty significant. And this is the thing.
Yeah.
When we talk about the Murdoch trial, we do that in June. There's a big thing about that with shell casings at the murder scene matching other shell casings on the property. So even though they don't have the murder weapon, they can pin the shell casings and say this came from the same weapon.
Right.
So Joey, there's other family members involved here, and this is where we go into the third generation. What's up with old Frederica?
She's the grandmother of Jake and George and Billy's mother.
Right.
She got charged. She got one of the first. She settled her case right off the bat.
Real quick.
She took an obstruction of justice and perjury. Now she bought 2 bulletproof vests, and of course they say that this was for this.
Right.
She said that she just bought them for their protection.
I saw that she did get them after the murders.
Well, I think that's what she said, but I don't know if that was true.
I just saw today that it got they got receipts from eBay, because she at first said it was fucking Amazon that she got them from, and they couldn't find no records. But then it was fucking eBay, and it was 2 weeks after the fucking that she got those. So
fair enough.
Well, that's that one thing that I saw.
Right.
I'm not saying that's true. Just saying it's something I saw.
Yeah, you see so much stuff, and some of the stuff does actually contradict each other. What were you going to say, Joey?
I was just saying, then, you got the other grandma, Angela's mom, and that's Rita Newcomb, and she's charged with obstruction of justice and forgery. She was the one, she was the notary that falsely signed the documentation that gave the custody over to Jake of Hannah, or, what's
Jake.
the child's name?
Sophie.
Don't know the child.
Sophie?
Yeah. So she was the one. These were fucking obviously blanks that were forged. She took the obstruction of justice. I can't remember what she got out of it. It wasn't very much.
I don't think it was much because she felt guilty.
It was
she
funny
came
because
forward.
she put the date, a recent date, but the fucking date on the fucking computer printout was actually
different.
Right.
The computer printout is what fucking gave you up.
Yeah, the date on the printout was different than the date on the document. Yeah, for sure.
But why this was so significant? Well, she was one of the first ones that actually was held accountable in this case, so that was pretty significant. But this was more because now this was used against the rest of the defendants as very critical, damning evidence against them.
And a motive. They're trying to get this little girl. So that's interesting. And like you said, she pleads guilty, and she also testifies against George as well. Everybody testifies against George. Now, I watched some of the testimony of that trial. Very interesting. The death penalty was off the table, as we said, as long as Jake and Angela's testimony was satisfactory to the state of Ohio. If the death penalty is in place, I was watching some of the back and forth with the attorneys talking on the different shows, that it's a lot more work for the prosecution to get a death penalty case forward because of how much more you have to prove when that's on the table. So they don't.
And this dude, obviously, he said he knew what he was talking about because he just did the Sean Great case right before this.
Right, that's right. And he,
which he did get the death penalty.
Yeah.
But the shit that he probably had to go through.
Yeah, they said it really makes it a higher bar. So they're not going to go for that unless they really feel like there's no, it's a slam dunk. And, again, with the whole testifying against each other, that was the deal they worked out. So that's how they end up getting it taken off the table. Jake points out to the police that truck that Chris was talking about. They sold it to a family member, so they were able to figure out, this is the same truck.
That girl was so happy just to get a free truck.
I know.
Because they just came over in the middle of the night.
You want this murder truck?
There's another fucking serial killer car rental.
Exactly.
Man. Fucking lay in the bed of the truck. Man, there's so many of them we've done here recently. We got to do another commercial. So that's the situation. They now got their hands on the truck. They basically ripped this thing apart. And then there's a Facebook post that the police found about the custody battle going on with Hannah, and Hannah comments, and this is where Angela had access to her, social media. She hacked into her shit.
That was
so she saw this, and she said they're going to have to kill me first if they're going to take this. Come take my child.
Yeah, that was that Tabitha.
I believe so.
Ex-wife was her mother said, "Don't do what my daughter did. Do not sign that.
Right.
Do not sign that."
Yeah, because George's ex did that, and they got that child.
Right, and her mom was like, "Don't fucking sign them papers," and Hannah was like, "No, they'll have to fucking kill me."
Yeah,
and that's where it all started. And then
that's what
now we kill her. We're gonna have to kill this person because they're gonna know we did it.
Right.
This person's gonna know we did it. This person's gonna be a witness. And that they just lined them up.
Yeah,
it took a couple yeers, right?
What's that?
From that text message or Facebook message.
I don't think it was that long a time, but I'm not sure. It could have been. I'm not 100% on that. So
until she was until they did the massacre.
from that message.
That was
that was 5 months before the murders. I've just seen it here in the notes.
Yeah.
So it was. I didn't think it was that long, but I wasn't sure. So yeah, I mean that definitely gives them the idea. So Chris, I mean they're searching the ponds, and this is where they find what you were talking about.
Shit that we were talking about earlier, like fucking the concrete. And they found so much shit.
Right, flashlights,
like pieces of weapons, like that cut, and they tried to burn and grind the serial numbers off. Like real quick, there was a fucking 40 caliber Glock, which Billy had been asking one of his relatives to find him one at a flea market previous anyway, which was kind of fucked up.
Okay.
And he obviously found it. It was a Colt 911 22 that was used, and there was an SKS rifle all broke into pieces or whatever. But also there was fucking pieces of like a mag light with the washers that they used to make a homemade fucking silencer.
Right.
So like they planned this shit out that hard. They're making silencers so nobody can hear it. Like it's not waking the kids up, making them scream. I don't know how close their neighbors were, but they're trying to be silent as
yeah,
fuck.
And in a trailer, I mean, we know there's no fucking insulation.
Yeah, no,
so,
you hear everything coming through the
shit.
goddamn trailer.
So,
and when they busted that shit open, they was able to match fucking shit through the casings and all that. They found so much evidence in them fucking buckets of concrete.
Right.
Dumb.
And Joey, like we were saying in that Alex Murdaugh trial, they didn't find the guns. They still haven't found the guns in that one. There's no concrete anchors that we're aware of with the Murdaughs, although they claim because his dad died right after this happened. There's a rumor that they put the weapons in the casket with the old man and buried him with the weapons. So that's kind of
that's pretty classic.
It is kind of classic. It's a little far fetched, but you know, with those motherfuckers, the whole
story is far fetched.
That is the craziest shit. I mean, I can't even wait to do that one. That's going to be wild. So, and that's also some redneck backwoods shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting to tie in with that, with how they're able to match the casings, even if they don't have the weapons. Just amazing what forensics, can do nowadays. I don't know how the fuck anybody gets away with anything.
Yeah,
you're on fucking video everywhere you go. It's just nuts. So George Wagner's trial goes on for 7 weeks. With lots of testimony, as we were saying. He's found guilty on all counts of the slayings. The jury of 9 women and 3 men took 8 hours to come to this unanimous decision. The sentencing, though, will not happen until December.
Do you think they just walked in and that 10 minutes later, it's just like, yeah, he's guilty. You want to get some free
Let's
food
order
from
some
the
pizza.
government?
Yeah,
right. Like,
get
you guys
some
want to
beers,
chill out, watch some movies. We'll just do it up.
Well, in that Murdaugh trial, the one juror said it took them 45 minutes, and they just kind of let it kind of sit for a minute before they went in there.
Sure,
so, it was a lot quicker than the 3 hours that they were back there for. So yeah, very interesting, but. He's not going to be sentenced until December, but it's very likely he's going to be in prison for life without parole, since the death penalty was off the table. But still, he's not going anywhere. Billy, the father of the family, is the last one that's going to go on trial. As I said, he pled not guilty. But for him, it's alleged until he's involved, or he's convicted. But from what we heard with the others in the family, it sure sounds like, he's going to be with the rest of them, but we don't know. According to Jake's testimony, it sounded like Billy shot at least one of the victims. He talks about it, that first trailer, he shot the uncle or Chris Sr. on the porch. And then his dad went in and shot the other, the cousin, at that first trailer, and then they dragged the bodies into the bedroom, as we talked about. But he said his dad was all freaked out, and Jake had to basically wake his ass up and be like, "You need to pull it together. We got to get this done.
Right, we're doing
We've
this for
already
me,
gone
right?
past the point of no return now, so we got to keep going." The dad was pretty freaked out.
It said he was freaking out.
He was.
He was like, he was like, I just fucking killed my best friend.
Well,
and that's fucked up.
Well, he didn't kill. He had Jake kill his best friend, but the cousin of his best friend, and he was there when all this. Yeah, but that's awful.
That's what I'm saying. I think he just meant that he was there, and his best friend was dead. But
and watched it happen.
Yeah.
Whenever they were whenever they were plotting this whole fucking thing, and they were planning on how to, what to do to get the child, basically. But Billy, one thing this was fucked up to me. They had brought up the fact that maybe they could set them up so they got busted. So Senior got busted with his grow house and all that shit.
Yeah.
So that way they would look unfit. So then they would have better chance of getting the child, Sophie.
Okay.
But Billy was like, no, I don't want to be a rat, and I don't want to set my friends up.
Oh, shit.
And that's so fucked up. Right, but you'll go in and then kill them? Like, what the fuck?
That's so fucked up. That is really crazy.
I also saw some shit that when they started first planning this out, like, after that Facebook message or whatever, that, like, Jake originally, his idea was like set it up to look like a murder-suicide with Hannah and her new boyfriend or whatever, and everybody rejected that. No, let's just kill the whole fucking family instead.
Right? Wow. That's fucked up. That's really fucked up. So yeah, I mean, Chris, this is the most senseless thing. I mean, we got 8 people. I mean, this is so illogical.
No, dude, like, look, I got my kids out there. I love them. Love their mamas respectively, but I would never fucking go fucking murder
a
bunch of people, one person, let alone a bunch of people.
8 of them, yeah, that's just fucked up.
Because you know what that's going to do? That's going to leave my child without their mom. Yeah, also, I'm going to be in prison. I'm not going to be there either.
Exactly.
What's the fucking point?
Yeah, you
dude?
just totally
it makes no
fucked that kid's
sense.
life completely up.
Yeah, now your whole child, now your child has to live with that stigma. Oh yeah,
with
my
no
mom's
family.
dead. My dad murdered her.
Yeah,
he's in prison.
He's in prison. Right.
Yeah, why?
Not just the mom, fucking a whole bunch.
My
cousins.
My mom's
aunts,
dead.
uncles.
My cousin, aunts, and uncles are dead.
It's fucked.
My dad, my aunts, uncles, grandparents are in prison.
Right.
My life is fucking perfect right
now.
now.
That's like a fucking country song. That's like a Garth Brooks song, man.
Dude, the mentality of that is just fucking.
It is
dumb to think that that's gonna work out for you in life. There's no reason to make it fucking be that way.
It is. It's so fucked up. Now, an interesting side note here: the Wagners convinced an ex of George, Tabitha, as we said, to sign over the rights of her son, whose name is Bovine.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy.
Bovine, like a cow. Bovine, spelled just like that. Bovine. What the fuck?
Can you stop
dude?
Victim shaming?
Bovine wasn't a victim, okay?
No, that's a victim.
Yeah, he was victimized with that name. I'm assuming Bovine's got like the most righteous fucking mullet. Or maybe a squirrel cut like Joey was talking about.
I really hope he grew up to be a badass football player.
Right?
That'd be badass.
Bovine. Yeah, so that's crazy.
Bovine Wagner.
But they did that shit, right before, with this custody battle. It was just fucking staggering. The ex, the night before she left George, had to run from Angela because Angela was chasing her with a shotgun. So she had to get the fuck out of there. So she was living with them. She fucking up and leaves. Leaves George, and then Angela's going looking for her with a shotgun.
Right, and that's Tabitha. Yeah, that's who signed over the parental rights.
Right,
and whose mother told fucking Hannah, like, no, don't fucking do it.
Right. So
Joey, you hear interviews with Tabitha, like she's like, they ask her like, so in 2000, I think it was 2016. It was before the murders or whatever. But like, how many times that year did you see your child? She's like 6.
Oh yeah, I think.
And they're like, where'd you see your child? Like at Billy's,
his place,
or at George's or whatever the fuck,
Right, George's.
Like that's the only place I saw him 6 times. In a year, like fuck that. Dude.
Yeah, that's fucked up. But she's got her now, of course. Now, Joey, this is some brutal shit. I mean, to plan this out the way they did is just fucked up.
Yeah, this is a fucking crazy ass fucking situation. These people, like I say, I feel like they had to be on something to fucking come up with this diabolical plan.
Good Lord, dude.
They really thought that they were going to get away with this too.
Right.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
They went into this full, and for a while there,
they were getting away with it.
Dude,
yeah.
I think when they fucking first heard them mention the whole cartel thing, they were like, "Oh yeah, we got an out right
jackpot.
there." Yeah, like
Right.
fuck yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and I will say that one of the most brutal things about this case was that whenever they killed Hannah and they left the baby there,
Right.
They positioned Hannah so that the baby could still nurse.
Oh, that's right.
If it wanted to, and that's fucked up.
That is fucked up. I did see that. Yeah, that's fucked.
Let me get that rancid milk, mama.
That's heinous, man. That's so fucked up. So
and that's his daughter.
No,
Jake's
that was
daughter.
the bait. No, that wasn't his daughter. His daughter.
Oh, was it Dana's? At Dana's? Or
It was her other boyfriends. She had just had
Yeah,
a baby
it was
recently.
the other
'cause
guys.
Sophie was
okay,
like,
yeah.
Sophie was like
Yeah.
2 years old and was gone
Yeah,
with
yeah,
him at his parents' house.
she wasn't even there.
Like his kid wasn't even there at the time.
Right. Yeah.
See, even us at Murder Mel Man, we get lost in our own fucking
Oh my God,
world
this is
of names
confusing.
too.
This is how Sugar Babe was, though. Remember with all the names and stuff.
Yeah,
So
fucking Ohio. Man.
Fucking Ohio. man.
This is a tragedy on so many fucking levels. I mean, not only were 8 people murdered for no real legitimate reason, but think about, all their family and friends that extend beyond that. I mean, that is just fucked. Jake told the lawyers that he did it because he thought that was the only option.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying.
So
How is
stupid.
that the only fucking option,
I know.
man?
I know. It's so absurd. We're coming up on 7 years since this happened next month. So I hope the family can get some closure once Billy's trial is over and they're all rotting away in prison. It's amazing that the Wagners did this for Jake due to the child custody issue, and it was his testimony that
fucking
nailed
got
them all.
everyone.
It's just
Oh, we
such a
did this for
fucked
you,
up-
son. It's like, well, guess what I'm doing to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have scripted this thing any crazier. So without it, it's likely they would have gotten away with this because there really wasn't much evidence until he turned and told them where the concrete buckets were. But if he hadn't have told them that, they weren't finding that shit.
Dude, shit was
at the
nuts.
bottom of some pond
And
holding
also-
a duck blind down.
All right, here's another thing I got to say about this. Like, they did all this work to put all this work and energy in to conceal these murders. But at the same time, yes, they got the video surveillance of the mob grabbing the shoes from Walmart or whatever.
Right.
But still, when the cops searched the house, they found those fucking shoes still there. Why would you not fucking burn them bitches?
I thought they got rid of them. They didn't.
No, they found them. Maybe I caught something else.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they got rid of them, and maybe there was I don't remember, but I remember her talking about the shoes and saying that they were the ones with that I have to wear because of my brace with the Velcro.
Yeah, because of the Velcro shoes and shit.
and they look like old man shoes.
And
but,
Hannah's dad had a pair,
right, but
but
they
they
were
were all wore out. They weren't
Right.
brand new Treks and shit, and they were the
Right.
wrong size and shit. But yeah,
Yeah, very, very interesting. Anything to add to this one, guys? We've gone pretty. This is an hour, 20 minutes, but I think it was an interesting topic. And like we said, it's such a new story and it's fresh and still really going on that, I think there's just a lot to talk about with it. But anything to add to this?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, one thing I was going to add is something that I learned about from watching this is that for also another suspicion was that there's a thing called the cornbread mafia. And I think we need to do an episode on this because they only talked about it a little bit in a couple things I watched, but I'm like, what the fuck? And what it is a bunch of Appalachian rednecks who are fucking basically like run shit. They probably run the drug trade and moonshining and all that
Well, that's
shit
what
down
you
there.
do.
But
It's Appalachia,
right, but
bro.
there was they were looked at for a little bit, if possibly they were the ones that were involved in these murders, because I think that Senior and them were affiliated with those dudes. But they were showing like flyers and all this crazy shit for Cornbread Mafia. So
Cornbread
I need
Mafia.
to look a little more into that.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds like an episode of Murder Metal Mayhem. That's for sure.
Cornbread. And get my cornbread.
Now, I did my research by watching a few good documentaries on YouTube. As I said, that Law and Crime channel.
Oh, wait. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
They really do a good job on those Law and Crime, on that Law and Crime channel. Fox 19, the affiliate in that area, also had some good coverage. I read some good articles on their website. It is a very recent story, so there's a lot of stuff out there. You can watch the trial, the George's trial. So get more information if you're interested. And like I said, the dad's trial, Billy's, is in 2024 as far as we know. And so I'm sure it's going to be televised just like George's was. State trials are televised, federal or not.
Sorry, I just thought in my head. Wasn't it Jake who didn't want to be televised?
Yeah, he didn't want his testimony televised, so it was just the audio.
The audio.
It was just the audio. He was in like another room and doing it.
Yeah, which is kind of fucked up. I kind of feel like, nah, you kind of gotta. You don't have rights right now. You just fucking face what happened, dude.
Yeah, it's fucked up. He definitely got for him, I think, a pretty damn good deal.
He got a really good deal.
Now, next week, we're going to be taking...
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got one last thing about this one, because this was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
If you watch the fucking courtroom fucking testimonies, and they bring up Chris Newcomb, he comes up.
Duke Nukem.
That dude... Yeah. He's talking about... Newcomb, right? Isn't that his name, Chris Newcomb?
I believe
Something
so,
like that.
yeah.
But he's talking about fucking Jake Wagner, and when they ask him about Jake Wagner,
they have to do the subtitles.
He says in quotes, he says he's as useless as tits on a boar.
Oh yeah, I saw that. No, yes,
and he's like, can I say that?
Yeah, he's like, oh,
and I'm
sorry,
like, did he just say that?
Yeah, and he said that on the stand. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, can I say that? No, I heard that. Yes.
There was one.
I was like, is this dude serious or what?
There was
what
one of the
fuck?
locals they interviewed that you couldn't understand a word he said, so it was all subtitled.
Oh yeah,
like when you watch like Swamp People and shit, they talk with that real thick accent.
When he was talking about that same thing with tits on a board, he was basically he's like he was useless as fuck. But
wow,
yeah, that was fucking I remember that.
That's a crazy one. Now next week, guys, taking another trip across the pond, racking up some miles on our credit card to the UK for the disturbing case of old John Reginald Christie. This motherfucker has been on my list for a long time. This is a good one. Responsible for 8 murders, including his own wife and an infant, at 10 Rillington Place, a very infamous address there in London, from 1943 to 1953. He was also
10 years, 8 murders. Your numbers are low, bro.
He was also known for doing illegal abortions, and we got a lovely commercial for him.
Dude,
hell yeah!
You guys see that meme?
Which one?
Dude, I saw this meme the other day. It was a fucking crow flying across the sky with a fucking coat hanger in its arm. It's like, oh, it's the opposite of a stork.
Oh, wow. Jesus Christ.
Like, holy shit, dude.
So this guy is a creepy motherfucker, and we're gonna have Jeff Ignatowski on with us. That'll be fun.
Killer Card Game.
Killer's the card game, and he's gonna be a guest host, and so that should be a good one. I'm looking forward to that, and don't miss that one. That'll be good. Joey, any good page of days for us here?
I got some quick ones. Like I said last week, they had the Hart family, and we're going to do that
as an episode. Yes.
So I just got a couple, but they're pretty good. So this first one, thanks page a day, but March 2021, a 6-year-old boy was sent to court in North Carolina charged with injury to real property for picking a tulip from a neighbor's yard while waiting for the school bus.
No way.
The case made headlines throughout the U.S., drawing attention to the alarmingly young age at which children qualify for juvenile proceedings in that state. Now, while parents are involved in all criminal proceedings for minors, according to the North Carolina Juvenile Justice section, the children are expected to assist in their own defense there. That's fucking crazy.
Hold on. No, wait. These motherfucking people are taking a 6-year-old to court for picking a flower.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Right?
Are you serious?
So the young boy charged with picking the flower was unable to follow the court proceedings, so his defense lawyer gave him a coloring book and crayons. Child advocates argue that children 6 or 10, 12, or even 14 don't have the capacity for making the life-altering decisions involved in assisting a criminal defense. They've suggested a swath of alternatives involved raising the minimum age states in, like, North Carolina, upping it to 12 or 14, or increasing it to 10 or 11 to 12-year-olds with an evaluation. But, yeah, that's fucking crazy when it comes to kids,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
I
no,
think
but I
so.
don't get it. Why are you going taking a kid to court for picking a flower?
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's petty as fuck.
No, that's
Right.
fuck, dude.
What blew my mind was that was only in 2021,
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
not like
That's
this
what
was
I'm
some
saying.
fucking
That's recent.
archaic case.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last one I got from Page a Day, this is pretty good. This is about something we all like, murderabilia, and they're talking about some things that have sold for, you know,
Yeah.
over the years.
Right.
So they're talking about, like we all know, John Wayne Gacy, he liked to do paintings while he was on death row.
For sure.
One of his paintings sold for $7,000. That's quite a bit of fucking
Yeah.
change. A lock of Charles Manson's hair was sold for $24,000 in
What the fuck?
2019, and that was actually marked down from the original asking price of $2,950. So $2,400 get a lock of Charles Manson's hair.
Wow.
Kenneth Bianchi's belt buckle, the one he was wearing when he was arrested, that sold for $1,500.
Jesus.
Dirt from Gary Heidnick's Philadelphia basement, which of course is where he kept his victims.
Yeah.
Right.
But dirt from his basement cost $40.
Oh, I would totally
And then-
buy that.
And then the biggest
Just
one that they're
because.
talking about, you know, for sure. And this goes into a little thing, but not too long. But this is in 2011, there was an auction of Ted Kaczynski's belongings, which raised $190,000, which was donated to the victims' families.
All right.
The Unabomber's handwritten manifesto sold for $20,053. So a big chunk of that.
God damn.
Now, he also sold, or they sold some of his personal journals for a total of $40,676. The sweatshirt and sunglasses from the iconic FBI sketch for $20,025. The typewriter that he used to type his manifesto went for $22,003.
Oh, wow.
And then his autobiography was sold for $17,780. All the proceeds were put towards the $15 million restitution that had been ordered to pay his victims. His cabin was transferred to the museum in Washington, D.C.
Right.
and put on display until the museum closed in 2019.
Wow.
God damn.
Well, you know, speaking of that, the Murdoch, they just auctioned off all their property, their belongings
Yeah.
at the property, and the money went to these people that he cheated money from and all this shit.
Right.
And his couch, the one that he claimed he was sitting in, was like his alibi while the murders were happening, went for $350,000.
God damn, dude.
This brown leather couch, yeah, nothing special.
That's crazy.
350 G's, yeah, fucking crazy. So yeah, that's always fascinating to see what that kind of stuff goes for. But always good page a day.
Fuck yeah, Joey.
Well,
Fucking
guys,
love it. Thank you, Page a Day.
That's right. And we've done our fair share of murdering tonight. I think it's time to crank up some metal. And Joey, what the fuck are we going to do?
Let's get our fucking county
Just
medical
because
examiners
CK
on.
has passed on, he's not done educating the masses. CK will forever be
the great metal, motherfucker. We're here to stomp poser ass and eradicate the planet of their kind. CK has passed the torch to us, and we will forge the fuck on. In CK's name, we will bestow metal knowledge upon all of you. All of you. Hell yeah. This segment always dedicated to our fallen brother, CK. Long live the great metal motherfucker. So we got CCK, Cardboard CK, here with us always, throwing up the horns. And it's hard to believe, he's gone, but it's great that we're able to keep doing this. And we pass the horns around, literally, some goat horns that we've got here in the studio. And Joey's got some at his studio. And so this time I'm passing Joey through the camera.
No.
Or I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry. I'm just jacked up here. Chris has got the horns set, and I'm sorry for the false alarm there. It's Chris.
Which one of these goat horns you think is the biggest one?
I don't know.
The girthiest one.
Maybe this one.
That one. I'm putting that one up my pee hole.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Have fun with that. All right.
Fuck yeah. So tonight I got the fucking horns.
Yep.
Fuck yeah. And tonight I decided I am going to do the iconic band of NSYNC. So, here we go. Starting with the NSYNC is a boy band. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, my God.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, my God.
Couldn't help myself. So, tonight I'm doing the County Medical Examiners. Now, if you have never heard the County Medical Examiners, go fucking check these motherfuckers out. It's fucking heavy as shit. Fucking just some of the best grind you're gonna fucking hear in a long time. So like they became a band in fucking Scotts Valley, California in 2001. They're gore, like I said, gore/death grind band, and they're fucking amazing as shit. Now they don't play live shows at all. They're just a band that puts out music. That's it.
Right.
We're going to play music. We're going to put it out. If you want to hear it, listen to it. Don't give a shit about live shows. Fuck them. Now they came out to say the band was created to recreate the sounds of fucking early Carcass.
Yeah, that reek of putrefaction and shit like that.
Yeah, fucking early Carcass shit. That's what they wanted to do. Which I feel like they did a good job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking, so when they started out in 2001, now you're going to have to fucking understand where I go with this because it's going to go into the band.
Okay.
When they started out, it was Dr. Morton Fairbanks,
right,
who did guitar and vocals.
Right.
And it was Dr. Jack Putman on drums and vocals. And then they also had fucking on bass and vocals Michelle Hayes when they first started out.
Right.
Now Michelle Hayes, she fucking met Fairbanks because she got a DUI. So there's those certain classes you got to do to get your license back for DUIs.
Right.
So she toured the morgue Fairbanks was fucking goddamn working at. And apparently they got to talking about
some grindcore.
Yeah, about music or whatever. So it was oh shit, well fucking I want to do some shit. So they started this fucking band out called fucking County Medical Examiners.
Right. They literally are county medical.
Now you already have two fucking doctors.
Right, medical doctors.
MD doctors.
Yeah, we're not talking about PhDs. We're talking about doctor.
MD doctors fucking out there doing shit in the world.
And she was didn't she become a medical student over this thing?
I'm not done talking. I'm not done talking about my story, sir.
I'm sorry about that. Go ahead.
So Michelle Hayes, she had to do this shit with fucking Fairbanks, and then so starts this band. So shortly after they met, and then and that was in 2001. So 2001 is when they started fucking County Medical Examiners, and not very long after that, their first fucking EP they put out was fucking fetid putrescent whiffs. And as a person working in a morgue, I'm sure you get lots of those, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You just be like,
Lots
God
of
damn,
whiffs.
what's that? That one's new. Holy shit. What was that? Like, fucking
Right.
God damn it. So, like, they keep going on. And later the same year, 2001, they put out their first full-length album, which is called, there's one word in here I'm going to fuck up with. But in 2001, it's Forensic Fugues and Medial-Legal Medleys. Medial-Legal. I'm going with Medial-Legal Medleys. So, which is a badass album. If you haven't heard that shit, holy fuck, dude. That's a fucking sweet fucking... It just... I don't know. I've been... Obviously, since I'm doing fucking these guys for the fucking podcast, I've been fucking just jamming them, and I'm just
Right.
listening. And I haven't listened to them in like probably a year or so. And now that I'm listening to it, like, holy shit, this is like more fucking badass than I thought it was.
Right.
And it's great. So they put that out, and then shortly after they put that out, fucking Michelle Hayes, she leaves the band to pursue her career in fucking not doctorism. That's not even a word. God damn. But yeah, she goes to medical school, like pursue her career in medical school. So they replace her with fucking with Guy Radcliffe. So oh my God.
Guy Radcliffe.
Yeah, Guy Radcliffe. This dude, he is also a medical doctor. Like, already in the field, like, doing his
It's
thing.
amazing they found this many doctors that
Yeah.
want to play grindcore.
Now, mind you, when they find him,
just crazy.
no, this is grind fucking death. This is grind, just fucking slamming it out. Mind you, when they find him, he's like already like in his 60s, basically. He's just an old ass man that plays guitar, and they're out there just like fucking, just like, just fucking killing it, dude. And they never play live shows, which I think is great. Just play music, man. So after that, fucking, so he's in there fucking doing his thing. And then in 2003, they put out a split with the fucking one and only General Surgery, which is a fucking badass split, which the song that we're going to be playing is off of that split. Forensic fucking Photography. Fuck yeah. So then after that, in 2004, they put out another fucking EP called, oh my God, here we go again. Reeking Parapsides for Choral Percussions and Strings.
Wow.
I'm
That's
like,
so
what the
Carcass.
I'm like, what the fuck is that?
That's
dude?
so Carcass. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ. I can't, words. And then, so they released that in 2004, and then 2007 they put Elodius Orathra. I can't even pronounce it. Just go look up goddamn the County Medical Examiners. I can't pronounce it, man.
Yeah.
So that was the last album they put out. That was 2007. They're still active. But see, here's the thing about fucking that I love about a lot about County Medical Examiners. Motherfuckers, like, we listen to heavy music and the vocals are like, "Bleh." Like when you listen to death metal, it's like, yeah, I can't understand the vocals. But then people are like, how do you understand what they're saying? I'm like, even if I did understand his words, if he was not screaming or guttural or whatever, I still don't know what the fuck he's saying because it's all medical terms. It's all fucking Latin.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck he's saying, dude. I
Right.
can't pronounce none of it, dude. Like, what the fuck is happening in my life? So I just think it's badass that these fucking actual medical doctors
It's amazing.
all got together and put
Playing shit
together
like
a
that.
fucking grind band
That's hilarious.
that just slam shit together, and not slams it together because they're very fucking talented at what they do.
Right.
Like, they're fucking awesome. But the County Medical Examiners, if you've not heard them, go check them out. They are one of the fucking one of my favorite grind bands, honestly. Like,
Very cool.
I think they're great. So go
Very
check
cool.
out the County Medical Examiners.
All right, very good, very good. Well, I got a lost classic for us, guys. I went back 2006, Cataclysm, In the Arms of Devastation. That's fucking badass.
Yeah.
Really good album. Now, I've got a quick story about Cataclysm on that tour, Arms of Devastation tour. My son and I went to see them. I think Nuclear Blast had asked me if a lot of these tours that were coming through, they would ask me if I wanted to do interviews through Heavycore. So that's how I got all these interviews. But anyway, we went and interviewed them, and we talked to Maurizio, the singer, who's actually from Chicago. The rest of them are all Canadians. But the guitarist, JF, super cool guy. Both of those guys are really cool. And so that was fun to do that interview, and they killed it. And then we ran into Maurizio a few months later at the House of Blues up there in Chicago, because he's from Chicago, and he was there to check out Exodus, and we were there to interview Gary Holt and Paul Bostaph, who was the drummer at that time, before the show. So it was really cool. We ran into him. He was eating dinner at the restaurant there at the House of Blues and called us over to the table. So me and Joey sat down and had dinner with him. It was really cool, just the three of us and chatting, and then haven't seen him since, so it's been a long time. But yeah, just been jamming some Cataclysm, and I just remembered what a nice guy he was, and super cool and very badass. So, all right,
real quick.
Yeah.
There was one other thing about County Medical Examiners. So, like Matt Widener from Exhumed, I never saw his, other than this one thing listed, that he said that it was his side project to basically clone Carcass.
Okay.
And eventually he wanted to fucking like look like them and everything. And he wanted to put out an album with all their music except with one note from every riff different. But he figured it'd piss off too many fucking people to fucking even go through with it. So I don't even know, like, because he's not listed in the credits as a band member, but it just is a weird thing to me. It's like, why are you not listed as a band member or whatever?
That's weird.
But like, I think that would be fucked up to take somebody's entire album, but change one riff or one note from every riff and put that out. That'd be fucked up, dude.
It is fucked up. It is fucked up. All right, so what have we been listening to lately, Chris? I know you've been on a County Medical Examiner kick.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I still been listening to that fucking Pupil Slicer that I was talking about last week.
Yeah.
And fucking, other than that, just randomness here and there.
Cool.
I listened to Nirvana Unplugged yesterday.
Okay.
That was fucking good.
Cool. What about you, Joey?
I've been jamming this band, Evicting the Testicular Squatters, or ETTS. They did a split with this band, Fecal Corpse, back in the day. I've been jamming that split, fucking reliving that. Been jamming some fucking Hatchet Fucked, which is my buddy from out in Colorado.
Yeah.
He just fucking
that's just
put out
badass,
his new
though.
shit. Yep, Moonlit Massacre. That's his new album. I did guest vocals on it. So did Jay from Lust to Decay. So it's pretty dope.
Nice.
And I've been jamming fucking... What the hell did I just get? Oh, yeah, I fucking bought Cause of Death because I realized I didn't have it on CD. So I got that. So fucking little obituary.
Organizing that motherfucking CD collection, you go looking at it probably like, oh shit, I don't got that?
Yeah, right? Or I gave it to somebody and never saw it again.
Right.
I've been jamming, as I mentioned, Cataclysm. Of Ghosts and Gods is amazing, and Meditation's also amazing. And then that band Chronicle I mentioned, I've been jamming their album Demonology, which is killer, and the new one Where Chaos Thrives, that comes out May 19th, but holy shit. Really good stuff. Bass player's just unreal with the 6-string, and the drummer's good. I mean, they're all really, really talented. I'm going to be interviewing those guys in a few weeks in April. Also, I interviewed Pepe from Hate Sphere.
Pepe Le Pew.
And that was a fun conversation. But the Danish band, I did that one on Sunday. And the full interview is going to be released the day after this comes out. So Friday, as a bonus episode. So you get to hear the whole thing. And the video of that interview, it'll be on the YouTube channel on Friday as well. So don't miss that.
Get her done.
Joey, you got the horns next. What's your plan?
I'm actually going to do a newer band, which
Okay.
is something that we don't do a whole lot of. But I'm going to go down to Texas, and I'm going to do a band that's hot as fuck right now, and that's Stabbing.
Fuck yes.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's cool.
They're brutal. They just fucking came back from not tour, but they fucking went and played Australia, which is just amazing.
Yeah.
Really cool fucking group. Brutal as hell. 2 females, 2 males. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm gonna do next.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Also, real quick, since we're in metal, next fucking Monday, I'm going to Fort Wayne, Indiana, to Pierre's, and I'm gonna go see Suffocation's headline, and so of course I want to go see some Suffocation.
Right.
Of course.
Also, my buddy in Between the Killings, my buddy Braxton, that's his band.
Yep.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Vaughn did he does the guitars on the studio albums and shit.
Right.
And also a couple members from Severed Head Shop are in the band. So really
Cool.
badass. But that's their first live show is going to be the Suffocation show at Pierre's next Monday.
Awesome.
So I'm going to be there. If anybody's around that area, go
Yeah,
check
stop
that
and
shit
say
out.
hi. Yeah, very cool. Fucking yeah, that's badass. So bands, if you're in a band, you want to send us your material, send it to pete@murdermetalmayhem.com. We'll check it out. If it's something we dig, we'll get a hold of you. And if not, don't be offended. If you want to send it old school, you can send it to Murder Metal Mayhem, P.O. Box 554, Hayworth, Illinois, 61745. Stickers are always welcome. We'll throw them on the table
love
or the
stickers.
door. And Pop-Tarts are always cool, too. We're still sitting pretty good, but, eventually we're going to get low again. So, all right, that's 666 Club. That's our Patreon. So thank you, all those that are members of the club. And if you're not, $3 a month is all it is. We'll have that in the episode description. You want to scroll down and check that out. It's a good way to support what we're doing. You can actually do it cheaper if you go on our website, 25% off the 666 Club at murdermetalmayhem.com. All right, well, we have done plenty of metal tonight. So, Chris, what the hell are we going to do?
Let's get our fucking mayhem on.
Spring is just around the corner, friends. Why not surprise your loved one and pick them up on a special date night with a car used by a serial killer? Nothing says love quite like that. We've got a parking lot full of cars that were used in the commission of all sorts of crimes like rape, murder, sodomy, bestiality. It's fucking great. Give us a call today.
I rented Bonnie and Clyde's V8 Ford for the date night with my wife. She was a little freaked out by all the bullet holes, but they made a nice whistling sound as we drove down the highway. They covered up all her screams. God damn, I love that car.
How about renting the car used by the Speed Freak Killers? Or how about the stolen car used by Rod Farrell from the Kentucky Vampire Cult? How fucking whack were those motherfuckers? You can ride in that fucking car across the country, whatever. Or how about getting healthy by taking a ride on the bicycle used by Peter Woodcock, Penis Schlong Prick, or our newest rental, a parachute like D.B. Cooper used. A fucking parachute. Nothing says romance quite like jumping out in the winter air at 10,000 feet.
Woohoo! My girlfriend loved the bloodstained seat of the car Paul John Knowles drove cross country, killing dozens of women and men. There was enough DNA inside that car to father a small motherfucking town. His semen made that leather seats all nice and soft.
Call us today at 800 Serial Killer Car and make sure you mention our friends at Murder Metal Mayhem to score a sweet 10% discount. For the entire month, we'll be giving away a free t-shirt with each Serial Killer Car rental.
Oh, man.
Yes,
That's some good shit right there. Some brand new commercial we did. Serial Killer
car
Cars.
rentals, baby.
Good stuff. Joey doing the narrator, of course. And then Tex and Chris getting in on the testimonials. Gotta love that. And before that, Chris, how about some...
Motherfucking goddamn fucking county medical examiners with the fucking forensic photography.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah. Off
Definitely some sick shit there. That's for damn sure.
Off of that split with general surgery.
Hell yeah. And we are in Mayhem, and that's where we do some, craziness. We don't have any Mayhem stories tonight. That's okay. We don't always have Mayhem. Last week we did 3 of them, so, it's just how it is. But we got a killer cage match for 'em.
Always have a killer cage match,
And that's
man.
a fun part of the show, where we have our listeners provide us some random numbers so we can help pick from a list of 75 killers, 75 objects for them to fight with, a variable in the cage, and a song to play. Chris, who do we want to say thank you to?
Once again tonight we have Jim motherfucking Gay.
Hell yeah, thanks,
we got
Jim.
Fucking Colin motherfucking Rogers.
Hell yeah,
And we got
Colin.
Ray. Fuck you, Mac Daddy's McFalls.
Oh, fucking A. Ray McFalls, gotta love it. And we got a good one tonight in the cage, Joey. Who's fighting?
We got a famous one. We got fucking Berkowitz,
One
son of
famous
Sam.
one.
Chubby
And
Behemoth.
he's going up against fucking Timothy McVeigh.
Hell yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Pretty sick motherfucker, that's for sure. That's a good fight. And Chris, we got a couple of interesting objects. Haven't seen this one for a while.
Tonight they're gonna have themselves an ice pick.
That could be interesting.
That's some mobster shit.
right?
And then they're gonna have themselves a blood-stained stinky thong.
That's an old school one.
Yeah,
We've had that
that's
on the
old.
list forever, but that's pretty rough.
Yeah, that's gross.
And the variable,
Of all the
Joey.
things we talk about on this podcast, I think that's gross.
Yeah, right. And then, Joey, what about this variable, dude?
300 of the Birdman of Alcatraz's parakeets.
Oh, God.
That's-
Pecking at your face and
Boom.
shit. Wow. And the song is Achy Breaky Heart by Billy Ray Cyrus. So there you go. So we got David Berkowitz going up against Timothy McVeigh. They got an ice pick, a blood-stained stinky thong, 300 parakeets, and a partridge in a fucking pear tree, and Achy Breaky Heart playing by Billy Ray Cyrus. Chris,
Man, I don't know.
don't
dude.
take my heart.
Yeah, don't
Achy Breaky Heart.
don't do it. So Achy Breaky Heart's just playing in the background, right? Fucking Berkowitz, he's just a sad, lonely man anyway. He just listens to that song, gets all sad. He looks at those fucking panties, that fucking thong that's all gnarly. He's like, I think I want that. And he just starts sniffing them. He's like, oh my God, that's getting me really fucking high. Because he just wants attention. He wants love because he doesn't feel the love.
Okay.
Meanwhile, McVeigh's over there. He's like plotting it out. He's like, this ice pick ain't gonna do shit for what I do because I like to blow shit up. How do I make a bomb? So he fucking looks at that ice pick and he grabs it, and he just tired. So tired of Berkowitz's fucking sobbing and crying. He just stabs him with it anyway. He's like, I don't care. It isn't even about what I want to do. I don't care.
Okay.
So meanwhile, McVeigh's making his bomb. He's got it all constructed. But then he grabs this fucking latch on this door thinking there's explosives in there. No, it's not. It's 300 fucking parakeets.
Oh, fuck.
And these motherfuckers rain down. They
shitting everywhere.
rain down on him like it's fucking Hitchcocks the birds. They're just fucking come down on him like fucking just attacking him and eating him and fucking just pecking away at him. They look over at fucking goddamn Berkowitz and they're like, well, that chubby motherfucker, he's just sad. We don't want nothing to do with that. So Berkowitz just sniffing away at the shit and fucking, then they're like, well, McVeigh's a fucking tiny motherfucker. We ain't got enough food here. So they hit I'm giving it to the birds. The birds get it.
Okay.
The birds get it.
And Achy Breaky Heart.
Achy Breaky Heart is just playing in the background.
Joey, I don't know. What do you want to add to this?
That was a light one.
Craziness, man.
Well, whenever this one fucking goes off, I mean, we say that these are the killers in their prime. So
right.
Timothy McVeigh, he's fucking
pretty
badass dude, came out of the military, strong guy. David Berkowitz, now while he was being the 44 cal killer, he was a little more on the pudgy side, a little out of shape.
Right.
We can say that he's in shape like he was in the military. I'm going to give him that.
Okay.
I'm going to say that David Berkowitz, is tagging up against Timothy McVeigh. Now, the thing about Berkowitz is he's been sitting there in the cage match. And you thought that one dog was telling him shit? Wait till you know what 300 parakeets have been telling this motherfucker.
Nice. I like what you
so he's
did.
been catching them for fucking the past 3 days. He's been trying to catch 300 parakeets, and every time he catches one, he cuts off its head and sacrifices it to Satan. Timothy McVeigh, he doesn't know what the fuck is going on in this goddamn bloody ass cage. There's fucking Achy Breaky Heart just playing like it's stuck on a fucking skip from a CD. And it's just Achy Breaky Heart, Achy Breaky Heart, Achy Breaky Heart.
That's it. Not the whole song.
It's just doing it over and over. And fucking McVeigh is getting so goddamn pissed. And he was like, you know what? Okay, David Berkowitz in your prime, all fucking hemmed up with Satan, been sacrificed, and you're fucking stoked. He's like, I'm going to give you the ice pick. He throws David Berkowitz the ice pick. And then he fucking takes the bloodstained thong, and he also fucking wraps that around his own fucking eyes so that he can't see. And he still pummels David Berkowitz in the ground after all of this, and Timothy McVeigh just wins this.
Is he blinded, though, by the blood and the stinky thong?
No, he ain't worried about that. He's got some fucking, he's got some chemical resistant contacts he whipped up.
Oh, okay. Fucking A. All right. Hell yeah. Well, that's why Killer Cage Match is a favorite. It gets kind of wild, and always have fun with that. So very cool. All right. You could pick up one of my new books, or any of my books, I should say, PeteAltieri.com. I got short story collections. I got novels on there. If you dig suspense and horror, thrillers, whatever you want to call them. I've seen horror now are called thrillers. Anyway, it's all there. I've got some free samples. If you want to check out some of my stuff, you can do that on my website. So check that out. And then I've been mentioning the Murder Metal Mayhem website, but that's a good one, murdermetalmayhem.com. We got a web store on there. You can buy t-shirts, stickers, our adult activity book, the 666 Club. So murdermetalmayhem.com, you can do that.
I might be able to fucking sell you a handy.
The YouTube channel, we've been talking about that. Go do that. Subscribe. We've got content on there. Been putting all these band videos up there, the interviews I've been doing.
Might put your handy on YouTube.
And then the murder segment from last week. So, it's out there. I still have yet to do the one that we all did in here, the Bonnie and Clyde one when Joey was here.
Oh, yeah.
I just haven't put it all together, but I have everything I need for it. So it's just a matter of assembly. But yeah, that's coming too. So that YouTube channel is got a lot of good content. All right, well, I think we've done plenty of mayhem tonight, so I think it's about time to hit the outro.
Just hold on tight, you lost to find your sincere pride. If you resist, it's to exist. Justice into the abyss. Hell, damnation. No solution. Time running out. Point of no return.
Fuck yeah, man. The band Prater and the song No Return from the new album just came out. Really, really good band. Very Metallica sounding. Old Metallica.
Yeah.
Chris, you were able to hear it here in the studio. What'd you think?
I dig it.
Yeah, it's cool stuff. They've got a female guitarist that fucking shreds. Very good musicians. They're from Luxembourg, which is over there by France. So check them out. Praetor. It's, you could look up what it means. It's like it's some sort of governmental, I don't know.
Yeah,
check it
whatever.
out. Thanks again to Jeff from Killage the Card Game.
Hell yeah.
Sponsoring the episode, and go check that out in the links in the episode description
Killers
to
the
get
Card
the game for yourself. And it's perfect for fans of this podcast. I mean, you love serial killer shit, so this is a good game. It's a lot of fun. And next week, Jeff will be on here with us doing the episode
That's gonna be good.
on Christie.
awesome.
That's going to be badass. Joey, what about our bumper music tonight?
Tonight we heard Prater, Chronicle, and the County Medical Examiners.
Fuck yeah.
dude.
And Chris, that
Always.
murder
Motherfucking
segment?
Chrysix for
Metal
the metal
segment, I'm sorry.
Dude. Always for the metal segment. We got Chrysix, the
Yeah.
great metal motherfucker.
Hell yeah, that's the perfect song for it. And our Murder Metal Mayhem intro by Low 12, the song Crawl Space. Thanks to all you guys listening out there. We keep seeing those numbers coming in. It's humbling. We really appreciate it. The Chilean listeners, fuck yeah. Hope you guys keep listening.
Yeah, get her
And
done.
everybody that listens, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Chris, what about that first
We got
comment
that
here?
comment right here. It says Jerry 8, the number. Jerry 8 Tom says, congrats on 666,000 listens. You guys deserve it. I love this podcast. I live every week in my garage in Boulder, Colorado.
Hell yeah.
I smoke it up with Joey every time. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, dude.
They can hear
Hell
those
yeah.
the bong
Bong riffs just keep
riffing,
going, dude. Fuck yeah.
Joey, what about that second one, man?
Bubba Stump 59 said, I can't stop listening to Murder Metal Mayhem. I started going back to the early episodes, and it amazes me how you guys have improved the sound over time. It's great to hear how you started doing it. Thanks for the funny way you do what you do.
Hell yeah,
we
thanks,
try,
Bubba.
man. We try.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you.
All right, the next one, Eddie Smith Jams with a Z. Comments, that Starlight Tour shit was fucked up. I agree, Eddie, that is fucked up. I can't believe they could do that to people.
No, fuck no.
No, it's horrible. I love it when Shane comes on. His Canadian accent and perspective makes the episodes that much more legit. So that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Horns High from St. Paul. I'm
I
assuming
mean, you're
Minnesota.
in Minnesota, so you got about the same accent, Eddie. Come on, man.
Right. No, my wife said the same thing. She's like, I don't think I've ever heard Shane in his voice without doing the funny voices. She hasn't, heard him on an episode. And so she heard that and was just like, wow, that really is Canadian.
Yes,
That's
sir.
about as Canadian as it gets. All right. And then
this
Chris,
last one we
the
got
last
here.
one.
We got Chrome Dome 666.
Fuck yeah.
Is that you, Pete?
No, it's not, but that would be a good name, though.
Chrome Dome
I might
66,
steal that.
Right? Chrome Dome 666 says, my sister got in trouble listening to your podcast. Sorry for your sister. I apologize. My parents grounded her for 2 weeks, but I heard them yelling about it, and I wanted... Wait, hold on. But I heard them yelling about it, and I wanted to hear it for myself. I'm 18, but my little sister is 14. I love what I hear so far. All right, I get
Nice.
it. Right on, Coco.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Hey, it's cool, man. My kids are fucking 13, 16, whatever, and they listen to it, and they're like, Dad, you're dumb.
Right. I thought that was funny, though. The
No, that's fucking great,
sister
dude.
getting in trouble.
He's like,
Sorry, sis.
Hey,
But
sorry about your
get-
sister.
get a
but
little
if you're
bit older,
digging it,
yeah.
dig it, Chrome Dome.
pick up a copy of my latest book, Slab of Sickness, Terror on the Tracks. Check the episode description for a way to get one with a free poster and bookmark, PeteAltieri.com. Also, MurderMetalMayhem.com, our new website. Our
Check our shit
website.
out.
Yeah, with the web store. It's all legit. Cool, 2 different T-shirts. The old ones, though, are almost gone. But plenty of the zombie ones, the ones that Jeff Gaither did, those are great. And we got our activity book and our die cut stickers. So there's some good shit on there. And the 666 Club, 25% off.
Hey, if you pay enough, I might do a silicone mold of my cock. You're not going to like it. It's not that good, but...
Okay. Joey, how about your distro? What's going on?
Hit me up, FTA Records. New Goremonger Horror Flicks 3's out. Got t-shirts left in large and extra large. That's all I got now, but hit me up if you want one. Yeah. Got the next show I got coming up's in Michigan. I'll talk more about it next week, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be with my buddies and Alien 666 and Lead
Are you
Poison,
brushing
who I
your
played
beard with a
before.
skeleton hand?
I am. I just realized this right there. But yeah, so fucking check my shit out. FTA Records with a Z. Lots of fucking new albums put up on there. Getting new ones in there too. So
very cool.
Right. Always
very
check
cool.
out the FTA.
Link to that in the episode description as well. Like us on Facebook, our group. We got a Facebook group. Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Speaking of Facebook, we were just talking. We won't announce it now, but we think we're going to come with a fucking loophole.
We got an
around
end
it.
around on Facebook with this bullshit.
I
They
think we're
took
gonna
our
figure
page
this
down.
out.
I think we got a good idea to do this, so we'll keep you posted. So support the show and join our 666 Club. You can do that on patreon.com/murdermetalmayhem. You could join for $3 a month. Go to the episode description to get in on that. And we can't let him go without hearing a karaoke song, a little blast from the past. So crank this shit up. And until next time, keep one foot in the gutter.
And please help me get custody of my daughter.
Ricky was a young boy. He had a heart of stone. Lived 9 to 5 and he worked as stringer to the bone. Just barely out of school. Came from the edge of town. Fought like a switchblade so no one could take him down. No, he had no money. No good at home. Walked the streets a soldier and he fought the world alone. And now it's 18 in life, you got it. 18 in life, you know. Your crime is time and it's 18 in life to go. 18 in life, you got it. 18 in life, you know. Your crime is time and it's 18 in life to go. Whoa. Tequila in his heartbeat, it made burn gasoline. It kept his motor running, but it never kept it clean. They say he loved adventure, Ricky's the wild one. He married trouble, had a courtship with the gun. Bang bang, shoot 'em up, the party never ends. You can't think of dying when the bottle door is running. Now it's 18 in life, you got it. 18 in life, you know. Your crime is time and it's 18 in life to go. 18 in life, you got it. 18 in life, you know. Your crime is time and it's 18 in life to go. Yeah, yeah. Accidents will happen, they all heard Ricky say. He fired his 6-shot to the wind, and the child away. You know Satan in life to glory.